What's up, people? So I'm coming at you with not one, but two weird dreams. The first one's weird. Second one is epic, to say the least. And you're about to find out why. So the first one, I'm sitting on a boat with, I don't know, 3 or 4 guys. We're out in the ocean enjoying our time. So we go and we find this shipwreckage, and we bring down floaties. I know it sounds very weird, but keep in mind this is a dream, so I get to do whatever I want in there. So we bring down floaties to the wreckage, and we go in the cockpit. And in the cockpit, I don't know what you call it, it's like the cockpit of the boat. Not quite sure, I'm just going to refer to it as the cockpit. But so we go down there, and there's a massive air bubble in it. Don't know why. It's my dream, like I said before. And we have these clear floaties, so we're sitting there looking through the floaties, kind of using them as goggles to look at like all the shells and stuff that are in the cockpit, because this thing's been down there for a long time. So we're looking at that, and me being the idiot and ocean lover and explorer that I am, I decide to go outside of the cockpit. And well, let's just say it wasn't a very good idea. So what happened was I started going out, and then this current started pulling me, and I was like, oh gosh, this is not good. It was kind of like one of those dreams where like it's not that real, so you're kind of like, this is a dream, so even if I do die, it won't really matter. So that's kind of what was going through my head. I was like, whatever, I die. But luckily this guy stuck his hand out, grabbed me, pulled me back in the cockpit, and then unfortunately and fortunately, I woke up to the sound of my alarm. But the reason I say fortunately is because now the next dream begins. So automatically it starts off just awesome. Okay, so me and this group of people were in this small castle. So basically it's like a small castle with a bunch of kids in it, but there's also forest, so you can go out in the forest and mess around and stuff like that. So it's not like you have to be cramped all the time in the castle. You can just sort of like do your own thing and crap like that. So it's this group of like good people, and I don't really know what the deal with us was, why we're in that camp, but apparently we were really good fighters or something. It kind of reminds, I'm going to be using a lot of reference for this dream because it was just so amazingly real and detailed. It was insane. But it kind of reminds me of Percy Jackson, the Camp Half-Blood, I believe it is. And kind of reminds me of that in a way. So, but we just didn't have any leaders for some reason. So these, we're doing our thing in the camp and whatnot, and then these evil people infiltrated the camp, and then they started turning our own people against us. And so what happened was, it's kind of like if you've ever been a little kid, or even now, you go out in your neighborhood and you play hide and seek at night with kids in your neighborhood or something like that. That's kind of how it was, except it was a lot more. Instead of a neighborhood, you just add in a forest, and it was usually dark. So we're sitting there, the good team versus the bad, the classic. And then all of a sudden, I guess my dream was like, screw you, Aaron, we're gonna throw you a curveball. So they basically bring in this guy that resembles Michael Myers kind of, and he's on, of course, obviously he's on the evil team. And for those of you who don't know, Michael Myers just absolutely traumatized me as a little kid. I hated him. and I don't, to be honest, I really don't know why. He's not even that scary, but he just traumatized me. So he wasn't that scary in my dream now, just because, you know, I'm older and more mature and stuff like that, but nonetheless, he was pretty scary. So my whole team just tried to avoid him at all costs, and we did a pretty good job of that. And then my dream was like, well, that's not enough, Aaron. I'm gonna screw you over even more. So it added another, basically just like epically strong woman, and she was like this bird-like creature, bird-like creature, kind of like from Skyrim, you know, those ugly Hargravens or Habgravens, whatever you call them, kind of like that, but just not ugly. And so both of them have, you know, insanely strong power, I guess. And of course, they're both on the evil team. And the good team's sitting over here thinking, we are royally screwed. There is no hope for us. We will never win. And then a miracle happens. And it happens to me, which is even better. I get a power of my own, and it's even better than both of their powers. It's not anything special, but I became super strong, and I became this like warrior guy with a sword and an axe. And after sort of, you know, messing around with the other team, kind of destroying them and stuff like that, I finally run into the bird-like chick, and we're fighting. And there was this one time, and it was so vivid. I can like remember it so clearly right now. It was just amazingly real at the time. So she swings her sword, and it's like in slow motion. She swings it. I go under the sword, swing my axe up, and slice halfway into her arm. It was so disgusting, but so awesome at the same time, because I was like, yeah, you want to kill my men? I'm gonna slice your freaking arm off. How do you like that? And it was really refreshing, because I had wanted to do that from the very beginning. And even more good news, my team had dealt with the Michael Myers-like guy. So he's dealt with, the bird-like chick is dealt with. So we basically have, you know, just little grunts, pawns, whatever you want to call them, left. We quickly dispatch of them. And then all the people in the camp/castle start praising me. And, you know, obviously for good reason. I took down the freaking bird chick. And they start praising me, and they make me the leader. So I was like, okay, you know, that's fine. Because I had grown up when I became this leader. I became a lot more mature and stuff like that. So they made me their leader. And then after that, everyone left for some weird reason. Everyone left, and then like this guy that kind of reminded me of Beast. It was kind of like that scene from X-Men, you know, when he stays. It was kind of like that for those of you that seen it. If you haven't, then you have no clue what I'm talking about. But there was one guy that stays that kind of looked like Beast, and me and him just sort of chilled, and then I woke up. So if you enjoyed that, slap that like button, and I will see you guys later.